Hey everyone, welcome back to G-Man Movie Reviews. Happy 2020 and happy Oscars weekend. If you know anything about me, you know that I'm obsessed with movies. I'm also obsessed with the Oscars. To me, the Oscars are just a celebration of what was hopefully a prior great year in cinema. And in my opinion, 2019 was a great year in cinema. Two of my favorite movies, Uncut Gems and Doctor Sleep, weren't even nominated, but honestly, I don't even care. There's a ton of great stuff that was nominated this year. I think it does a great job of kind of representing what was a overall very good year in cinema. So with that being said, let's dive right into the predictions. I'm going to start off with the big one. I'll start off with Best Picture, which I'm giving a slight nod to 1917 over Parasite. Two of my favorite movies of last year. I actually just saw 1917 this past week and was blown away with how great it was. It's just a cinematic achievement on all fronts, from every component, from the acting to the directing to the cinematography to the sound and just the story. It's just a very engaging and really well done movie. Not to take anything away from Parasite, but I do think that 1917 will get the nod for Best Picture. For Best Director, though, I think it's neck and neck between Bong Joon-ho for Parasite and Sam Mendes once again for 1917. But I actually think Bong Joon-ho will win Best Director for Parasite, so we'll have a split between what wins Best Picture and what wins Best Director. Next up, Best Actress in a Leading Role. Predicting Renee Zellweger for Judy, a movie I have not seen but has gotten a lot of attention throughout this award season. For Best Actor in a Leading Role, Joaquin Phoenix for Joker. I'll tell you what, after Dark Knight, Heath Ledger was one of my favorite performances of all time, period. And he's largely what really got me into being into movies. I was always into movies, but after The Dark Knight, I really got into movies. And his performance in that movie really made me think about movies in a different way. And I thought no one would be able to portray the Joker in a way that would impress me again. And Joaquin Phoenix really delivered in Joker. It was a completely different movie than any prior kind of like Batman movie had ever been. And that was fine though. Great origin story and great performance. Joaquin Phoenix, Best Actor in a Leading Role for Joker. For Best Supporting Actress, I'm giving it to Laura Dern in Marriage Story. She was fantastic. Highly recommend checking out that movie on Netflix. Great movie all around. Best Actor in a Supporting Role, Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I remember just when I watched this movie back this past summer, thinking to myself, wow, like here's like a huge Hollywood actor, he's so well known, but just the charisma he brings to the screen and the way he portrays this character just really kind of engrossed me in it, and it's just a testament to the great job that Brad Pitt did in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So as much as I loved seeing Joe Pesci back this year and in The Irishman, I know he's nominated, I do think it's going to go to Brad Pitt. For Best Original Screenplay, let's stick on this path. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino. This is a stacked category this year. You have other great movies like Parasite that won the Writers Guild. You have Knives Out, a phenomenal and original screenplay by Rian Johnson. 1917, another great screenplay. But I do think Quentin Tarantino is going to win for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. To me, like no one writes like Quentin Tarantino does. He's just so unique in the way that he writes, and it's just so, the dialogue is so engaging, and I hope he gets rewarded for it. I think he will. For Best Adapted Screenplay, Taika Waititi for Jojo Rabbit, a movie I personally didn't love that much, but it's the kind of script that I feel like the Academy Awards. I think there's a chance that Little Women, a movie I actually liked a decent amount, will get the nomination, but overall, Jojo Rabbit for Adapted Screenplay. For Best Editing, I'm going to go with Parasite. I think there's a small chance Ford versus Ferrari gets it, but once again, Parasite for Best Editing. For Cinematography, Roger Deakins for 1917. You may or may not know this, but this movie was filmed as if it was one continuous shot, which was just really cool to watch when you're seeing the movie. Roger Deakins has actually been nominated 15 times for a Cinematography Academy Award. He finally won 2 years ago for 2 or 3 years ago for Blade Runner 2049, but I think he'll win it again this year. Cinematography, Roger Deakins, 1917. For production design, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. For sound editing, sound mixing, both of them to 1917. I think Ford versus Ferrari is going to get some attention from some people in terms of, them predicting that it would get that, given the, it was great sound design in that movie, given all the cars and racing and whatnot. But to me, 1917 is the knockout and standout winner in both the sound mixing and sound editing categories. For visual effects, once again, 1917, really great visual effects. Best song, I'm Gonna Love Me Again in Rocket Man. For score, Thomas Newman, 1917. We have a theme going on here. Similar to Roger Deakins, this is Thomas Newman's 15th nomination. He's actually never won. The first time he was nominated was back in 1995 for 2 movies in that year: The Shawshank Redemption, one of my all-time favorites, and The Little Women from back in that day. But Thomas Newman for score, winning 1917. International film. This is the biggest layup. Parasite. I think it has a good chance of winning Best Picture. It will certainly win Best International Film out of South Korea. Parasite. For documentary feature, American Factory. For documentary short, Learning to Skateboard in a War Zone If You're a Girl. I've not seen that movie. For animated feature, Toy Story 4. Great movie. I love the Toy Story movies. It's a little bit weaker, in my opinion, than Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 3, which I thought Toy Story 3 was pretty much as perfect of a movie as you can be. Nonetheless, I think Best Animated Feature, Toy Story 4. Best Animated Short, Hair Love, a movie I actually just watched on YouTube tonight. You can watch it for free. Really cute little animated short. Recommend checking it out if you have a little bit of time. Live action short, Brotherhood. For makeup and hair, Bombshell. And lastly, costumes, Little Women. Let me go quickly through one more time to summarize. Best Picture, 1917. Best Director, Bong Joon-ho, Parasite. Best Actress, Renee Zellweger for Judy. Best Actor, Joaquin Phoenix for Joker. Best Supporting Actress, Laura Dern for Marriage Story. Best Supporting Actor, Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Best Original Screenplay, Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Best Adapted Screenplay, Taika Waititi for Jojo Rabbit. Best Editing, Parasite. Cinematography, Roger Deakins in 1917. Production design, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Sound editing, sound mixing, and visual effects, all 1917. Song, I'm Gonna Love Me Again, Rocket Man. Score, Thomas Newman for 1917. International film, Parasite. Documentary feature, American Factory. Documentary short, Learning to Skateboard in a War Zone If You're a Girl. Animated feature, Toy Story 4. Animated short, Hair Love. Live action short, Brotherhood. Makeup and hair, Bombshell. And costumes, Little Women. Thank you everyone for watching this channel. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment below and let me know if you agree or disagree and what your thoughts are on the Oscars. Thanks again, everyone, and take care.